Welcome to Talk Shit Radio.
Talk Shit Radio is a Kennedy Studios Productions. The opinions stated by various contributors to Talk Shit Radio and its radio programs are not to be considered as or endorsed by Kennedy Studios Incorporated. Visitors are urged to use their own discretion to draw their own conclusions. All information, products, services, and use of this website is for entertainment purposes only and personal use only. Talk Shit Radio Network does not confirm nor deny the validity or accuracy of the information contained within the website or broadcast. Any services or products provided by Talk Shit Radio Network and its host contributors should be used solely for entertainment purposes only.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talk Shit Radio. Here we are on a Monday morning. It is 9:21 already. Do you believe it's almost October? I'm just completely blown away by that. We're going to start the show off today right away. I got a couple things I want to talk about. First thing is the weather looks like shit. There's a lot of rain out there. According to everything I got, it's going to be a sucky day here in Tampa Bay. Now, moving on from the weather, how'd you like that for the quickest news? Okay, let's get top news going on here today in Tampa Bay. Warehouse office damaged in overnight Clearwater fire. Apparently a fire broke out in a lawn service warehouse in Clearwater, and it was caught in time early Monday morning. However, there was heavy damage. What else we got? Let's see. The Pope meets with Fidel, misses out on dissidents. Let's see. Winston wins for time as Bucks QB. Who cares about Bright House Sports Network? Homeless shelter will help 50 women. That's good news. We like to hear that. Traffic-wise, here we go. We got a freaking mess going on this morning here, folks. Wow. I just straightened right up. All right, so Gun Highway, as you're heading down Suncoast Parkway, you're going to hit a slowdown at Gun Highway all the way down to about 13 miles an hour. That's going to last approximately to Anderson, Waters. So you'll 3 exits, 4 exits, all the way down to about 15 miles an hour. Going across the Kennedy Boulevard there and the 275 northbound, coming across the bridge, we've got slowdowns all the way down to 15 miles an hour. That's about it as far as traffic. Let me say hello in the chat room, although there's nobody in there. G-O-O-D. Morning. So, all right, we got a bunch of shit going on in the news, like I said, but I really am not interested in it. What I'm interested in today is talking about cannabis reform and regulating cannabis. We're going to talk about a website that my lawyer, Michael C. Minardi, and actually let me get this up over here so I can have a good explanation. Michael C. Minardi, Esquire. He is the chairman and the campaign manager for Regulate Florida. What Regulate Florida is a website, okay, that's dedicated to regulating the responsible use of medical cannabis, all right? Basically, the mission statement, the mission of Sensible Florida is to create a practical and enforceable framework for adult use of marijuana through a program of regulation and education. We will limit access to minors, prevent abuse, and curtain driving while impaired. We will enable creation of jobs and allow consenting and informed adults to choose to use cannabis responsibly rather than be labeled as criminals while reducing the use of limited law enforcement resources. I am tired of what's going on here in Florida, okay, with all the cannabis arrests. It is out of hand. It is ridiculous. I am one of the victims of this ridiculous law here in Florida. 2 years ago now, January January 9th, we got raided. My house was raided at gunpoint by the Hernando County SWAT team because supposedly I was one of the biggest marijuana grow houses in Hernando County. What they found was my studio, my broadcast studio. They found 17.9 grams of personal use medicine is what it is. I use it as medicine. I am a responsible cannabis user. I break the law every day, and I use cannabis responsibly because I need it. That's the bottom line, folks. That's what this is about. It's not about hanging out, getting high, and doing this and doing it. No, that's not it. I am in need of it for anger management. The other shit doesn't work. I was prescribed Xanax. They put me in a coma. I can't function right. I'm not a pill person. I don't do pills. My body won't let me do pills. I can't handle them. They're too strong for me. I mean, I got to break a 0.5 milligram Xanax into 4 pieces in order for it not to be strong for me. The basic mission here is to go to regulateflorida.com, sign the petition. Join the fight. Listen, even if you are not a cannabis user, all right? If you can't use it, whatever the case may be, you do know somebody, all right, who needs it. That's the bottom line. That's really what it boils down to. Everybody out there, okay, listening to my voice knows somebody who could have used cannabis to prolong or save their life. Anyway, that's pretty much what's going on with that. I do have a few messages from obviously Michael Minardi, and we'll get to those. I want to get a little further in the show here. We'll go ahead and we'll get all of that playing. It's only like a minute and 21 second bit, but I'd love to get it up. I did share it on our Facebook page. It's all over the place. I went crazy with it. That's actually what I'm doing right now from the second computer over here to my side. I'm trying to get the show shared on all of our pages. It ain't easy, I got to tell you, doing this. Trying to talk and share the page at the same time. It gets confusing. I have trouble doing 2 things at once, as a lot of people know. But, excuse me. And, of course, I think I'm getting sick because I've got that cough going on in the back of my throat. And, I don't mean to be disgusting. When you cough up that phlegm, you could taste the difference between just phlegm and you're getting sick phlegm. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. I definitely know I'm coming down with something. Back to Regulate Florida. Listen, this is a huge thing for me. We're pretty much fighting for our life. Michelle and I have agreed not to turn against each other in our case, which basically means, whatever happens to me happens to her. If I get sentenced to 5 years in prison, she gets sentenced to 5 years in prison, which that's not it's something that can happen, is what I'm saying. If we go to trial and we lose, I could end up doing 5 years for 17.9 grams. And if that's not the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen or heard in my life, then I don't know what is. And if anybody out there feels that, I should go to jail for 17.9 grams, then you are truly ignorant and you live under a rock somewhere. Basically, that's, I don't understand where your thinking is, For those of you who know people who have died of cancer, I'm sure the question has come about in your mind. Well, hell, the responsible use, and I repeat what I just said, I wonder if the responsible use of cannabis would have prolonged my loved one's life. And I guarantee it would have. Got into a big to-do on one of the shows that we talked about medical cannabis with some schmuck who got in my chat room and tried to play somebody who they weren't. Unfortunately, I knew it was my sister. My mother would have benefited from the use of cannabis. And again, I will fucking, pardon my French, I will reiterate, my mother would have benefited from the use of cannabis. That doesn't mean my mother would have smoked pot, you assholes. She wouldn't have. But as far as taking it as a medicine responsibly, my mother was open enough to look into it at least. She would have considered it. Okay? My sister thinks that she knows my mother, but she has no idea. She spent years and years away. My brother doesn't know my mother. I know my mother. I lived with her. Okay, up until she died, I was there. And then Sissy came in and took over because, whatever. But, yeah. Wow, fucking 19 minutes of the show left already, man. Already 10 minutes in, and I haven't done shit. I hate this half-hour shit. I really do. It's a manic Monday, I got to tell you. I'm on a roll. I've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning, and I'm working on like 3 cups of coffee, so if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. What else we got here going on in the news? We got some Clinton's lead is growing. I didn't know she was in the lead. I thought Donald Trump was in the lead. Excuse me, man. Those of you who have been following us, I have applied for every radio station in the nation, okay? And when I say in the nation, I mean all over the continental United States, all over in Alaska, hell, iHeartMedia, okay? I applied for a job in Anchorage, Alaska as the morning drive host for a radio show. Rather than hire me for it, they closed the position. So I don't know what that tells you, but I took it wrong. I was a little offended by it. Rather than hire me, we're just gonna close the position. Forget it. We don't want you to work for us. We're just gonna shut it down. So yeah, that's pretty much how I took that. And that's all I keep getting is, answers back saying, "Oh, nope, we decided to consider somebody else with more experience and this and that." Listen, I don't know what experience you need to have to be a radio host. All you got to do is have the gift of gab. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've got the voice. I tell you that right now. I know it. I've heard it. I've listened to the radio show. People have told me I've got it. I can keep this going for hours. I really can. And if I have people engage with, forget it. This show I could go on for days. But the powers may be. And what it is, it all boils down to what happened 2 years ago. Because when you boiled all the water away and you're left with what's really there, okay? You're left with what Hernando County Sheriff's Department said happened, what the news said happened, which is all malarkey, and then, you Google somebody's name. Let's face it, you hire somebody, you're going to Google their name, find out what comes up. Google my name, Google Lewis Kennedy, and see what comes up. Nobody's going to hire me because of it, and it's slander, and it's bullshit, and it's exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody should have to go through what we're going through. And right now I'm going to play this bit from Michael Minardi. He is a wonderful, incredible man. He's an incredible lawyer. He's not only my attorney, he is my good friend. I turn to Michael for just about everything. And he's done a lot for my wife and I and continuing to do so. So we support him in anything that he does. So without further ado, here's Michael Minardi.
Hello, my name is Michael Minardi. I'm the campaign manager of Regulate Florida, who's going to be actively seeking to put adult use of cannabis on the 2016 ballot. Why? Regulate Florida. I am putting myself out of a job by doing this. I am a criminal defense attorney. My main practice is representing people arrested of marijuana offenses, and I'm sick of it. These are good, hardworking people whose lives are turned upside down by a cannabis arrest, threat, DCF involvement, or other type of sanctions that is coming against them for using cannabis. We want to bring together the people of Florida. We want all the patients, all the users of cannabis to step up and let their voice be heard. Stop being afraid of being persecuted because of speaking out. We need you to stand up. We need you to help out because we need action right now and not apathy. With doing this, we can change the world and we can change the state of Florida for the better.
Couldn't said it better myself. I mean, the man's incredible, knows what he's talking about. And in reality, folks, you know, here in Florida, we really need this. There are so many people here that come down here because of medical conditions, because they're sick and they can't live in other places. You know, Jesus Christ, go to the villages up in Ocala. Half the freaking old people up there sit around and get high. All right, I guarantee it. Go to your neighbor's house. I bet you know, one of your neighbors is hanging out getting stoned. I guarantee you know a lot of people, whether you're a prude or whether you hang out and you party, you know somebody who gets high. They might get high because they like to. They might be getting high because they need to. All right. The point to my bringing this up is stop throwing us into a stereotypical situation and saying, oh, those damn potheads. Well, guess what? Those damn potheads are some of the most educated people in the fucking world, and I'm sorry about putting it that way. Some of the most educated people in the world smoke marijuana, okay? Some of the smartest minds you've ever heard speak while they're on cannabis. I mean, I don't know. I can go on forever, folks. I mean, I just, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because people just they won't wake up. Nobody's gonna really. It takes somebody like Michael Minardi to stand up and speak out. All right. In order for the rest of the herds to follow. And that's basically, you know, all we're asking is for those of you who are out there and that use cannabis responsibly, once again, don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to come out and say, I am a cannabis user. I use cannabis responsibly and medically, okay? I don't care if you use it medically or not, but I mean, just... We need people to come out. We need people to be honest. We need people to fight for what is right. And that's regulate marijuana like alcohol. Just like alcohol. There's a billboard here in Florida. Let me see if I can find a picture of it somewhere. Oh, come on. Where are you? I'm on the regulateflorida.com website. I just seen the picture. It's a billboard. Here we go. It says, please card my son. Regulate the sale of marijuana and help me keep it out of his hands. Regulationworks.org. It does. It does work. Okay? If store owners and vendors responsibly regulated the sale of alcohol to minors, okay, then we wouldn't have this problem. If people responsibly, okay, did not go in the store and buy minors alcohol, because let's face it, people, we know how they get their alcohol, or they steal it from the parents or whatever the case, okay, if we responsibly regulate it just like alcohol, and honestly, I think we should remove alcohol. Alcohol and cannabis should be switched. Number one killer right there is alcohol, but whatever. To each his own. I'm not a very big drinker. I could live without never having an alcoholic drink the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter to me. My best friend in the whole world, Johnny, up in New York, owner of All Phase Logistics, the APL Group. Oh my God, dude! They got so many companies I can't even go over them all. But I mean, he's another one that'll tell you. Alcohol, it's just, yeah, okay, once in a while I like to have a drink, but could live without it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, actually, John, if you're listening, beautiful pictures, by the way. I hope you're enjoying your vacation. You deserve it. With everything that's going on, buddy, sit back, relax, enjoy yourself, and fuck everything that's in the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying, bub? You need it. You really, really do. And then pretty soon you're coming to Florida to visit me. So I do have to go to Virginia soon. I got some work to do. Everybody knows I don't make it a secret. I don't give a shit. If you don't like what I do, don't follow me. I have women that want to perform. And sorry to say, but sex sells. All right, so what else we got here going on? I was going to go over to, let's go over to this computer over here. You got to understand, folks, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 computer monitors in front of me with all sorts of different news and information. And so I got to kind of pick and choose and move back around and forth and see what the hell I'm going to put up here and all that kind of shit. Phone lines are open, I think. 352-410-2084. It's hooked up to my cell phone right now. If somebody wants to call in and give it a try, I'll be more than willing to try it. I can't promise the freaking thing's going to work because I just don't know what the hell's going on with it. I tried it earlier and couldn't get it to work. So let's see what we got. Man struck by car on Cortez Boulevard, succumbed to injuries. We've got woman airlifted to trauma center after a 2-vehicle collision. And then we got that plane crash. Pilot's identity. He's identified who crashed in the backyard of some, who knows. But anyway, yeah, that would suck for that pedestrian that got, well, the people that were driving. That would really, really, really suck. That's a good story right here. Michelle brought this to my attention yesterday, I believe it was. And it says, and this is a quote from Tom Lemons, and I usually don't do this. Real news, real fast. And basically, in Brooksville, exotic delicacies is not what you expect to find in a family-style restaurant. But for one Brooksville family, lunch at a local buffet ended with a pair of amphibious eyes staring at them inside a glass of tea. I'm looking at this, and how you can't see this frog in the glass, you got to be a fucking moron. You really got to be a moron, and I hate to put it that way. I really hate to speak that way because I'm trying to curb my language. Sorry, I got stuck on my wire. But you really got to be an idiot when you're pouring a glass of tea. Now, I'm going to let you know where this happened, and so everybody can stay the hell out of here. At 13235 Cortez Boulevard, right across from Sam's Club on Highway 50, there's a little well-known place called Buffet City. It's a Chinese buffet where you can go and you can sit down and just eat like a son of a bitch and just overdo it. Well, I don't recommend going to Buffet City anymore. I do recommend calling up the health department and saying, listen, you got to shut them down. Apparently in June of 2014, the restaurant received 63 DBPR warnings. 13 of those were high priority violations like food temperature and live roach activity inside the kitchen. Oh, that's yummy. During the most recent inspection in February of this year, Buffet City had only 13 violations, with just 4 ranking a high priority. Wow. That's, I love this. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten, or redistributed. How about go fuck yourself, Tom? I just redistributed it. Sue me for it. That's pretty fucked up, man. All of those violations, and they're still in business. But yet, you catch somebody with 17.9 grams, you want to put them away for 5 years, take their license away for 5 years. And that's the only reason they want to do that is so I don't fuck with them, because they know I'm gonna. And make no mistake, I'm gonna. Every single day. Every single day. Every ounce of energy I'm going to dedicate to catching every single one of you breaking the law. When you break the law, I'm going to make you answer to it. Because I've already made a few contacts in Washington that are very interested of the things going on here. Very interested. And it seems I'm not the only one who's contacted these people in Washington about the things that are going on in here. So I'm going to start hashtagging something like, let's see, stirring up the bee's nest or swatting at the wasp or some bullshit. Because I'm going after the sheriff. I want him out of where he is, and I want a whole new police force in there with some new standards, because the corruption is bullshit and it's got to stop. I mean, they got an anonymous tip from somebody. I know who tipped them off. It's a punk who I refuse to do business with, who was pissed off at me. I called him a little punk, and I threw him out of my house. So he got pissed off at me and said that I was a grower. I know what it is. The reason they're saying, oh, well, it was an anonymous tip, because I can discredit your freaking witness. That's why. You know it. You know it. Anyway, all right, so enough with that. I got about 3 minutes left of the show. I want to thank everybody for listening to my rant this morning. I really went off a little bit, but I do apologize. And again, today's show is really all about, staying informed, getting involved, and doing something about, regulating the responsible use of cannabis, just like we regulate alcohol here in Florida. You have to get involved. And the only way to do that is to go to regulateflorida.com, sign the petition, get involved, contact the board of directors if you have questions. You've got a great board, okay? You've got Michael Minardi, who I just talked about. A wonderful man. You've got Karen Goldstein. She's the vice chairperson. She is an incredible woman. Now, these are not kids, mind you. Okay, these are people who are, they're big time in the community. We have Bill Worsiford, okay, who's director of legal affairs. He's another attorney. He actually ran for Senate last year, and we supported him. We had him on the radio. You've got Pam Keegan. She's creative directive treasurer. You've got Ray Stacks. He's a retired U.S. Customs specialist. I mean, come on. You have Heidi Hanford. She's a secretary. Kendra Silver. She's a media executive. And then Mark Sanginetto, which is the media director. And these are all, they're it's not a bunch of hippies. They're not a bunch of long-haired hippies that are just hanging out to get high. You know what I mean? It's not like that. That's not what this is about, man. I can't stress that enough. That's absolutely not what this is about, and it really pisses me off. The way law enforcement treats people. You find a joint in somebody's ashtray, all of a sudden, I'm a hardened criminal and all of that. It's just not fair. It's not fair at all. We got about a minute left of the show. I want to thank everybody for listening. I know it's, some mornings I get a little crazy and I just one-track mind, but I had to get this off my head this morning. Been thinking about it a lot. They keep postponing my shit, and I just want to live my life, folks. And that's why I need every one of you to come out to the courthouse and let everybody know what's going on, that this is bullshit. It's really a waste of your taxpayer money, because, I'm not paying for it. I'll tell you that. I ain't paying for none of it. And unfortunately, it's the taxpayers and it's hardworking people of Hernando County that are paying for all of this bullshit that's going on. So we've got less than a minute left, folks. I really, really appreciate you listening to the show. We're looking at a whole nother week here. Eventually, if I can bring on some sponsors, we'll get you the show longer. We'll get back to where we were. I can't do it without you guys. I need your help. If you like what you hear, buy some gear, fan support us, send us some money, whatever you got to do. We'll get out there and we'll get it going for you. 20 seconds left. Thank you, Michael Minardi. Thank you, John, Yvonne, all the, regulars that, we get in here. I promise, Yvonne, we'll get out to the job and come see you. I just, trying to get a little situated, sweetheart. You're listening to Talk Shit Radio, everyone. I love yous from the bottom of my heart. We'll see you tomorrow.